Dr. Joel Rosen, and I am an adrenal fatigue recovery ninja. And today I want to talk to you about what to do about adrenal fatigue. I do phone consults, free 15-minute phone consults all the time. And undoubtedly, the first thing that people always ask me is what should they do about their adrenal fatigue? What supplements should they do? And I tell them that they are looking at adrenal fatigue from the 30,000 feet view. Meaning when you're looking at your adrenals, when you're looking at your thyroid, when you're looking at your gut, when you're looking at your hormones, when you're looking at all that stuff and you're asking what can I take for that, you're missing the point. You're missing the point that at the fundamental cellular level, where the mitochondria is and the organelles are and the cytoplasm and your cell membranes and Krebs cycle and ATP generation and glucose metabolism, where all of that is taking place, it's breaking down. And when it's breaking down and it's not making energy effectively, then you get tired. And when you get inflamed and tired and there's toxic exposures and there's stress, your adrenals will begin to crash. And so this is what you need to do in order to get to the root cause of the problem and not just blindly close your eyes and try to hit a dartboard and the dartboard's going all over the place and every now and then you'll hit it, but more often than not you're going to miss it and you're not specifically identifying where the location of the problem is in order to fix it. And so the first thing I always recommend to people is you need to get a CBC done, which is going to look at obviously your white blood cells, your red blood cells, your hematocrit, your breakdowns. It's going to look at your complete metabolic profile, your glucose, your A1C, your proteins, your kidney, your liver. Look at your fatty acids because you can see a lot of problems there. I see a lot of people that have anemias, blood sugar dysregulation, liver congestion or sluggishness, protein metabolism issues, kidney sluggishness, fatty acid issues, insulin resistance, white blood cells being off in terms of infectious processes. And there's a lot of work you can determine just based on that alone. And most people that I've talked to haven't done a blood test in a long time. The next one I suggest is a Dutch test. That stands for a dried urinary total cortisol and hormone test. So what it does is it looks at 4 urine samples throughout the day and it tells us how the circadian rhythm is impacting their adrenals or what's going on with cortisol levels. It also looks at estrogen metabolites. It also looks at testosterone and how that's being broken down, and it relates it to how genetically your body's able to make energy. It's better than just a cortisol test in the morning, which is just one time that's looking at the protein in the blood, and it doesn't give us a good idea as to how their circadian rhythm is working and how the hormones are involved and what's being used. An organic acid test is a test that I always recommend to patients. It looks at your neurotransmitters, your catecholamines, which is basically how your adrenaline is manufactured. It looks at your mitochondrial health. It looks at nutritional deficiencies. It looks at if you have bacteria or candida overgrowth. It will tell us a lot of what's going on from ground zero and not 30,000 feet view as to what's going on. And then of course the genetic test, 23andMe. That would be this thing right here. It's an awesome test. It tells us where you're breaking down from a cellular level, where some of your pathways may be blocked, and why you're not able to fight off an infection, or why you're not able to make neurotransmitters, or why you're not able to make hormones, or why you're not able to regenerate your DNA, why your cells are failing. And so I hope that you get a lot out of this video because it tells you that instead of trying to treat the symptoms, you're trying to get to the root cause of the problem. And that means from a cellular level. You listen, every single case that I work with is different. No two cases are the same. You get people that have had so many different life experiences, and just like a fingerprint, they're completely different. The genetics are completely different. But what is the same is the cellular level, where mitochondria makes energy, where oxygen is utilized for respiration, where glucose is metabolized, where cell membranes get toxic and receptors don't work properly, where supply and demand no longer equal each other, and where your ecosystem, where you have a bunch of competing microbes for a limited amount of raw materials, start to cause imbalances, and then that ecosystem breaks down. So anyways, hopefully you got a lot out of this video today. My name is Dr. Joel Rosen. I am an adrenal fatigue recovery ninja, and I give free 15-minute phone consults. So all you got to do is click below this link here and fill out the form, and we can troubleshoot and figure out what you're doing wrong or what's going on, and potentially we can organize a protocol to help get your life back. Because absolutely, the question I was asked today is, do you think there's help for those that suffer with adrenal fatigue? And I said, yes, I absolutely do think there's help, but you have to get to the root cause of the problem. So anyways, my name is Dr. Joel Rosen. Make sure you like, share, or comment on this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Your Adrenal Fix. And then also make sure you check out my Facebook page at Adrenal Fatigue Recovery. And lastly, I have a blog called adrenalfatiguesociety.com. I look forward to helping you in your adrenal fatigue nightmare.